Total fucking victory. Feels good to be right, boys. Feels good to be right. The crash out has begun. The crash out has begun. Yeah, oh shit. I haven't seen her full fucking thing yet, but I was watching a little bit live. And the chat, man, they were eating her alive. And it was going to happen. Because when you stir up something like this big, this much of a hornet's nest, and you don't go along with it, all of a sudden you flip, that crowd is going to come after you. And it's like a monster she created. And they're very angry. She took the 7K now. She sold out. Something's going on. I don't know if I can trust Candace anymore. Funny, I actually predicted this. I said, she's going to have the meeting and then she's going to pull back. She's going to say, well, we had a talk and I feel better about it now. They answered a lot of questions. Exactly what, I mean, maybe not to the T, but pretty fucking close, my prediction of how this was going to turn out. It is beautiful. Tim Pool's doing, the circuits. He's running around, screaming in joy. He's super happy. Man, it's been crazy. But now what they're doing is they're moving on to new theories. This is Ian Carroll's chance, bro. This is Ian Carroll's chance to take the thunder from out from under Candace, bro, and just start running with the wildest conspiracy theories. And next thing you know, he's going to be doing 250,000 fucking concurrent viewers. The next one is actually Charlie Kirk wasn't shot. He was electrocuted by his microphone. That's the latest one. I'm not even making it up. That's what they're moving to now. Even Candace Owens is like, I don't think I can go along with this one, bro. But yeah, that's it now, guys. We figured it out. He was electrocuted. I don't know. This is fun. It's been a fun day. It's been a fun day. And I'm not even joking about the electrocuted shit. I'm not going to cover it in deep detail, but because it's just so stupid. It's so fucking dumb, bro. Oh my God. It was a microphone electrocuted him, and that's what created the gunshot wound that poured blood out of his throat. Yeah, okay. Okay. So yeah, this is her talking about it for 35 minutes. I haven't even maybe I'm being a little too judgmental at the beginning, Maybe I'm a little too hyped up, but what I saw earlier, not going good for Candy. Not going good at all. To the point where I think she already saw this coming because it was already happening on X when she reported the meeting, and it seemed like this was going to be what was going to be the outcome. I think she already saw the writing on the wall. So look how she starts her show out.
Okay, everybody, Shabbat Shalom. I just want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody back at home. Happy Hanukkah.
This is not AI. This is actually her show from today.
To our greatest friends and allies. And, this is a good time to mention that Israel does have a right to defend itself. Tucker Carlson is Adolf Hitler. And TikTok does need to be purchased by the Mossad. It's just how I'm feeling today. I am not different. Maybe you are different. Welcome back to Candace.
And she absolutely trying to get out in front of this, dude. That's what this is. She's trying to get out in front of this. And look, she even changed her intro music. It's not going to work, Candace. You can't make a joke and then your audience is just going to be like, oh, this is so funny, bro. It didn't work, by the way. She kissed the wall, bro. She kissed the fucking wall. Took the $7,000.
Okay, you guys are crazy. You guys are absolutely crazy. The amount of people who attacked me for sending out a tweet being like, hey, I'm good, I'm alive. We had a very productive conversation. And they were like, she got the call. She got the call. She's betrayed us. She's doing something else. I can't believe it. This has all just been a show. Calm down, okay? What do you think happened? Well, Erica said, stop. And then
At Freeman 3 became a member. At Freeman 3 celebrates 6 months of membership. Shait Mahn Shait.
Yeah, what's up, brother? What's up, Raymond? Welcome to the team. Thank you for being a part of the team for 6 months, brother. You rock, dude. Thank you. You guys always remind me to do my little fucking plugs here. I don't have as many advertisements as Candace, but what I do say is you can check the description if you want to support the show, join the Patreon, and, super chats are appreciated if you want to get your message read and support the show. Thank you, guys.
4.5.
Thank you, Freeman.
4 hours and 30 minutes, just like as they just put all of these talking points into my head. That is not what happened. I keep telling you guys, I am not governable. I am basically akin to Kanye West. I never felt more seen.
So you're fucking crazy, right? Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that statement.
Than when he tweeted a lot of years ago. Just fired my manager because I realized I can't be managed. That is me. That tweet right there, I was like, oh gosh, yes, Kanye, that I get this. Okay. Nobody is changing their mind anything. How ridiculous would it have been if I'm doing all of this, investigating, asking all of these questions?
I guess
At
it
the
depends on what
Majestic
wall.
THP super chatted $2. Aren't we all kissing the wall at some point? Thoughtful face emoji.
I guess the actual wall you're kissing makes a difference, right?
And then Erica Kirk offers to answer some of these questions. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to go. I can't betray the people. I don't want any answers to the questions. I just want to ask them. No, this is the entire reason we are doing this. We've been looking at the situation going, why can't Turning Point USA just answer basic questions? And I can tell you guys that yesterday for 4 hours and 30 minutes, there were no rules. They said you can ask us any question that you want, anything that's on your mind, which I appreciated. And some of you guys are thinking, who is they? Who is they? It's the Jews, obviously. Just kidding. It's Justin Strife. Justin Strife was in the room. It was just Justin Strife and Erica. George joined me just for the beginning portion of the conversation because he had that thing going on that I told you on.
How much you want to bet that her and Erica like literally cried together and like held each other and cried probably for like 30 minutes out of that 4.5 hours. And now they're best friends. Man, people bought into this like crazy woman fucking drama, gossipy bullshit. Like it was the gospel, bro. It was like, that was just a crazy bitch crashing out. But that's the fucking gospel, dude. How dare you fucking question Candace and her Egyptian planes, which by the way, totally debunked. We'll get into that. We'll get into that once we're done with this. Yeah, the Egyptian planes, that was bullshit. That's been debunked.
The 15th all day. He was in a conference. And then I brought my cousin Mia.
Naked in the shower. Now we're talking
JCD. I
JCD.
just bring her there for vibes. I think it just confuses people. They're like, I don't understand what's this person doing here. And the reality is she's like always just listening to Cardi B music. But she's my cousin and I always have her around. And so that was it. She was kind of sitting a little bit away, but at the table, it was really just the four of us until George left. And I will be honest, I did not know what to expect going into the room. I did not know if they were going to be open. I didn't know what Erica's energy was going to be like, if it was going to be more of an argument, if there was going to be legal threats. You guys were telling me not to drink water, so I didn't drink water. Well, I brought my own water, but I didn't drink that water too. It was a lot. There's a lot going on.
So she really, look, there's no way she really believed TPUSA was going to kill her. She knows that. She knows that. That's funny, though. That's funny.
Okay.
I didn't drink the water, guys.
And the conversation started with Justin Strife very sensibly saying, what are we looking to accomplish here? Like, what is the actual aim of this conversation? And he was pretty clear, and Erica was very clear, that they were sort of most upset with what obviously a bit of a fever pitch, what I tweeted, that it was a God-forsaken company and people should not give money to it. And I have to own that. That's aggressive. That is actually aggressive in the retrospect. I was very frustrated. And I don't know. I felt like we weren't getting any answers. And there were so many.
This is where we're at. This is where we're at. You got so many people worked up into thinking TPUSA was covering some conspiracy to, or were in on the conspiracy to murder Charlie Kirk. And this is where we're at now. Oh, no big deal. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. I don't think your audience is going to move on. I think they'll move on to the next YouTuber who's going to grift off of this, because people are not going to give up, dude. They've done so much arguing and debating, so much attacking people that were like questioning the craziness, and then they've pushed themselves into a corner where they can't give up now.
Lies, and then I was getting attacked for asking all meaningful questions that was within their capacity to answer. And I told you, I definitely, my problem in life is that I can rise to anger very quickly.
Oh, exactly. She was a scorned woman. Ooh, this was her way of getting back at the people she was angry at. She's a bitter, scorned woman. She's admitting it. At least she's admitting it.
I shared with them that I really felt like I was under attack for telling the truth from the very beginning, like casually, when I mentioned the Catholicism thing. Like, what was that about? I was like, look, I say something in a tribute to him. Alex Clark and Andrew Colvett then jump onto a podcast and they're doing that weird interview, which is clearly.
So I felt attacked because I came up with a theory that Charlie Kirk was going to become a Catholic. TPUSA responded to my claim. So I decided to accuse them of murdering Charlie Kirk. Pretty much, that's the story. That's where we're at.
Aimed at me, and they've teased the interview. It's like aimed at me, but they never say my name. And that to me felt like it was the first, I don't know, the first bit of mud that was slung. Which their answer for that was, hey, that was a really crazy time. A new system had to be put into place. And by no means did Erica give any person the authority to go out and say that the Catholicism thing was a lie. It kind of turned into this big thing. Whatever. Okay, that kind of obviously was not the meat of the reason that we wanted to sit down.
Yeah, it's because you were accusing them of murder.
I would say I was
that's the important
by
part.
the fact that one of the first things that Erica did was she owned the lies, or rather.
What's up, Majestic?
At the Majestic THP super chatted $2. She word salad in and will word salad out, damn it.
Yeah, I think what she's probably going to do, apparently she's going to talk more about the Egyptian planes. Like the story's changing now. Now it's not about them following Erica Kirk because that's been proven to be bullshit. Now it's the Egyptian planes are obviously Israeli planes, and they're working. She's going to completely flip that story tomorrow. She's going to move the goalpost to something else that makes it suspicious. It's we'll get into that. We'll watch this guy did a complete debunking of it, and I don't know if you guys know Coach Colin. I like Coach Colin, good dude. I've got his number. I've talked to him. He's kind of gone down this rabbit hole. He's 100% pro Candace. God bless him. I think I disagree with him a lot of things, but otherwise he's a good dude. And, I shared this to him and I was like, what about this, man? Like you can literally go and double check this guy's work. Like he shows you how he did this. You can double check his work that proves that she was wrong 66% of the time on the location data of where the Egyptian planes were, that she had a +1 to +2. I forget like the timing, like if the plane was anywhere near Erica within 3 days, it wasn't even like at the moment Erica was there. All kinds of flaws in the data. And I showed him that and I'm like, well, what about this? And if you're really serious about like proving this, wouldn't you want to double check his data and do the same thing he did to see if this guy's debunk is valid or if his debunk is flawed? But of course, it's always, I just don't believe it. Who is this guy? Oh, I'm sure this guy, that guy, blah, blah, blah. Just attack the guy. And it's like, dude, you can literally double check his work. Why don't you go? And I get it. It would cost like $1,000 to be able to get all that flight data info. So that kind of limits the pool. But I don't know. I've seen Collins doing pretty well. I've seen some videos. I think he got shouted out by fucking Candace Owens, But yeah, Alex Jones dives into that too. So we got Alex Jones also debunking the Egyptian plane shit. That's coming up later. Plus Rob Reiner, rest in peace. Poor Rob Reiner. Look, sometimes you gotta separate the art from the artist. And there's just a ton of Rob Reiner films that I'm a huge fan of. And rest in peace. What a sad story. We'll be getting into a little bit of that as well.
I guess they would cage it as miscommunications that were coming from various people at the company. Like, look, this is a company with 650 people that are employed. Everybody at this time is exceedingly emotional and they are communicating. And no matter what somebody says on Twitter, they assume that this communication has come down from management, and that's not always a circumstance. But they owned right away, which felt great, that if you guys recall, Erica sat down with Glenn Beck. I actually missed this portion because I didn't get to watch the interview in its entirety, and we were pulling clips because a lot was coming out very quickly. But there was a portion that was going around that was viral, and it was Erica saying that she had Charlie's phone and that Charlie never texted anybody the night before saying that he thought that they were going to kill him. And that obviously reflected poorly on me because I was the one who said that he did, in fact, text multiple people the night before. And then I went on Jimmy Dore on Friday, Jimmy Dore's show, and I clarified. I said, Andrew Colvett told me specifically that he was one of the people that received this text message. So I got that first person. I didn't get that from a source. I got that directly from Andrew Colvett. And then somebody who had access to...
I'm interested in this because this didn't add up to me. It's like somebody's lying here because they're both saying different things. So I wonder...
Dan Flood's
what they
said that Dan Flood similarly received a text message. They owned that right away and explained. Erica said that she has Charlie's phone. She's looking at his iMessages, And it turns out that he, like everybody else, communicates on Signal. He communicates on Telegram.
Well, that explains
and
it.
that those when she heard me say that, they then went and looked, and yes, that what I said was true. Andrew Kovac received a message the night before, and Dan Flood received a message the night before. Now, they asked me if I had actually like a concrete a copy of what Dan Flood got the night before, and I said no. Somebody told me what it said, which was almost exactly what Andrew said, which is they're going to kill me. Andrew did not know who they were, that he was referring to were, but they clarified that the message that Dan Flood received said the left is going to kill me. So,
oh, okay, that makes perfect sense now, doesn't it? All this shit to like uncover the murderer when the murderer's like right there in front of us, cheering on the fucking murder. Already tried to kill Trump. They're already every day they're sending death threats towards right wing. It's like, oh, I wonder who murdered him. Oh, is it the person covered in fucking blood who's making death threats and now cheering on the fact that you're dead? Is it maybe that guy? I don't know. But yeah, of course, Charlie Kirk, like so many people that are on the right, that are famous conservatives. Yeah, they're getting death threats all the fucking time. I know everybody thinks Tim Pool makes it up. He doesn't. Alex Jones doesn't make it up. These people don't make it up. And they are fearful of that. And yeah, honestly, like one thing I would be very, very willing to criticize TPUSA security for is like, you sure picked a dumb fucking spot to host that, to put on that event. You picked like the one spot where it's like, you give an opportunity for somebody to do what fucking happened. And yeah, that was just a complete fuck up. I'm sure they know that now. I don't need to tell them that they fucked up. I'm sure they know they fucked up.
I can't confirm that one way or the other. I have to trust them on that because I did not see that concrete message. I was told that it said they. Now, obviously, we discussed the moment, and I'm laughing here because you TikTokers are actually out of control. You guys are going to be the reason that Israel gets TikTok because you guys are acting a fool all the time.
See, she's saying this with a smile, but I don't think she's joking now. She's literally telling her audience to calm the fuck down. You're acting like idiots. Well, why are they acting like idiots, Candace? Maybe the head idiot in charge kind of fucking led them there, you know?
And the videos were so hilarious of you guys mocking.
And look, I got to give her credit. At least she's pulling it back now. But there is the Machiavellian aspect of this where she could have kind of saw into the future where we're going to have this court case. And she could end up looking really stupid if she continues down that route. Because she even mentioned it like when she did, because I saw a clip earlier where she was like, I wanted to know if there's any footage of him pulling the trigger because maybe they're sitting on that footage and we just don't know about it. And I'm curious about that too. Like there's so much shit they could pull out in this trial that's going to make all these people look so fucking dumb. And it's like, that's why you kind of have to wait to have all the fucking facts, all the evidence, everything the state has before you can really form and make an informed conclusion. But, you know, other people, they just will say, oh, I just don't believe it because it's the feds. It's the feds. Well, it's not the feds. Again, can we please stop with this? The feds. It's the fucking state. The state's running this case. But I know, don't trust the state either. I know. And you should. But you should also, you know, think like logically and not just jump to wild conclusions that are going to make you look stupid. That's not a good move.
The Barry Weiss interview. It's great. It's good to laugh at ourselves. And Barry Weiss is always worth laughing at. But I was sort of like, hey, I felt name checked by the podcaster, Candace Owens.
Oh, I felt name checked. You hurt my feelings, so I accused you of murder. Scorned woman, man. Scorned woman vibes 100%.
Obvious setup. And then asking me to stop. And it's interesting to hear Erica say that the reason she didn't ask me to stop in the beginning because she was actually learning things from the show. She was actually learning things, and that I think she similarly felt that Barry Weiss was trying to create a moment. Obviously, it's who Barry Weiss is. It's the Zionist lobby. She's trying to right perceived wrongs because I'm against her side. That does not surprise me. That's kind of why Barry Weiss exists. That's the reason they put her at CBS, is because she's just committed to stacking the audience with people that are going to present the pro-Israel cause and talk about anti-Semitism and talk about like crime being on the rise. It's kind of an embarrassment, but I actually do accept that. And I should also clarify that Barry Weiss obviously picked those questions. They were not random, like I told you. It wasn't like people were coming to the mic and it was an open mic and they didn't know if they were going to get. It was all very much planned by Barry. But Erica said that she knew the general idea, like they were going to mention me and mention the conspiracies, but she was not given that specific, the podcaster, Candace Owens, question. So
of course she's gonna bring you up, dude. Why would she fucking ask a question like that and not bring up the person who is fucking pushing this shit?
I think that's fair to clear that up. Now, I did not at all recant any of my suspicions, and I understand people disagree with me about particular people at Turning Point USA. I communicated what I communicated in front of the whole world. My skin crawled after I spoke to Terrell Farnsworth, the person who took the cameras down. He lied to me several times. I explained to them, which felt good to have that direct communication, how Terrell lied multiple times, and that I did not understand why he was there that day. They echoed what he said. They defended what he said, that they were trying something new that day, that they typically live stream, which is what Terrell said. They typically live stream, and I said every college event. Well, they said, well, yeah, they live stream the events that are tour stops, but they don't live stream like the outside prove me wrong type events. And that was something that was new, and it required.
This one is kind of weird because everybody says, oh, this is so suspicious. Why did he just take the fucking the SD card out of the camera? Oh, he's like stealing shit off this. Dude, okay, imagine this scenario. Imagine he doesn't do that, and somehow something happens to the footage, the crowd that was stealing shirts, or, who knows? He failed to secure the footage, and then we lost it. The fucking exact opposite. Why didn't he secure the footage? He should have secured the footage. To me, it's just fucking nitpicking. It's nitpicking fucking bullshit.
Carol. And I said, even if that was all real, if that was all true, I still didn't feel good about the conversation that I had with Terrell, and I can't ignore my gut about the many little lies that he told. I thought the video he recorded was weird. I know he comes from a very powerful family. I personally do not trust him. And
yeah, this episode of the Candace soap opera is called When the Crowd Turns. Isn't there a soap opera called When the World Turns? But this one is When the Crowd Turns. Poor Candace. I mean, she was killing it, though. Again, there's a lot of people that were watching this and doing, again, another one of the sly, slippery little manipulative tactics they use, which is like, oh, look how many people are listening to her. That's a win. Oh, people are so jealous. So many people are listening to her. Bro, again, views does not equal being correct. Okay, just because you could have 10 million people watching you, that doesn't mean you're right. Okay, stop with that stupid fucking bullshit. But yeah, she was killing it. I saw 300 something thousand concurrent. I mean, that's insane. What is that? Super Bowl numbers on YouTube? What's the Super Bowl on YouTube gonna do if it was just live for everybody to watch? Probably more than that. Probably a million concurrent, I would think, right? If that was like, it would be. I mean, if it was the only place to watch it, it would be millions, obviously. But that's huge fucking numbers, dude. I've never seen anything like that. But again, the numbers don't make you right? That's not fucking logical thinking. Okay, that's retarded.
I obviously do not like the fact that I said, Tyler Boyer lied about this thing and came up with an excuse and said, well, Terrell was asked to take the camera down. That's the reason, he said on Twitter, because the police wanted him to take it down and secure the footage. And I said, I know that's not true. And they said, well, after all of that, after he took the cameras down, there was a police officer or Fed, whoever it was, that spoke to him and asked him to secure the.
So here's the question. Did he secure the footage for the investigation? And do we have him to thank for making sure that we have that footage now? So there's two ways to paint this. There's it's so suspicious and this and that, and he was wrong about this detail. And actually, thank you for securing that footage so it can be used in the investigation and the public will eventually probably be able to see it. Thank you so much for securing that footage. But no, it's all suspicious. It's all a cover up. Everything it's just so schizophrenic, bro. It really is.
Footage. Well, that makes sense. But it's not a reason for why he took it down immediately. It makes sense that as you're investigating, you're going to say, who's got the footage? Let's lock it down. But it didn't make sense to me that Tyler Boyer lied about it. And I don't trust Tyler Boyer. And that is never going to change. Similarly with Rob McCoy. He makes my skin crawl. I can't explain it. I look at him and he's a bad person and nobody can make me feel one way or the other about that. I was surprised to learn, and this kind of gets into, I guess, us not knowing the inner workings at Turning Point USA.
Dude's a pastor, right? Look, it wouldn't surprise me for a pastor to be actually a terrible fucking human being. I hate to say this, but a lot of the men of God pastor types They're some of the shadiest motherfuckers out there. And I think most people know this. And not all of them. I'm sure there's some good ones who really believe the message and really want to help people. A lot of these people are in it for the fucking money, bro. And they're slimy as hell.
Say that Rob McCoy actually does not work with Turning Point USA in any capacity whatsoever. And so him communicating as he has done, like, I'm the pastor, I'm this.
And I'm not saying that guy is. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me.
I'm that. It's just not real. Like, that is not real. And we should know that that's not real. And when he says that, call him out on that separately from Turning Point USA. I was operating under the assumption that he worked for Turning Point USA. And I said, if obviously that's wrong, I'm happy to correct that. But also, what were we to assume when he hit the stage at the memorial?
At Spocko 2181 super chatted $4.99. If YouTube didn't want her to be heard, they would have buried her.
I completely agree with that, Spocko. I think it's very convenient. They want to get the heat off the left. They want to get the heat off the media. The media's radicalized fucking the kid who shot at Trump, radicalized the dude who shot at him in Florida. I mean, there's a lot of fucking connection here to the media, to the establishment, and I think they want to get the heat off the left. And Candace played, the perfect role, like the useful idiot, to get, for views and money, to get everybody off the track of actually investigating this, finding out who was this kid talking to? Is there a conspiracy behind the scenes that this kid was working with who radicalized him, et cetera, et cetera. Instead, we're talking about Egyptian planes and maroon t-shirts and the Jews and everything but the actual fucking case. So yeah, it's convenient. It's convenient that YouTube just blew her shit up to everybody. It's like they wanted this to be the narrative.
And said, I'm America's pastor, and then had the Wikipedia updated and said, well, I'm assuming he had it updated because who else would do that he started Turning Point USA Faith. So I guess, to be clear, we were just wrong about that. And I will have a lot more to say about Rob McCoy and where I believe he fits into a lot of things. So I'm not letting up on that. Now, one piece of this where I still don't understand it, and the magic bullet. Okay. Now, we all recall what happened. I casually say on the show, hey, I saw the footage. There was no blood. And honestly, when I said it, I didn't process how big of a deal that was with the 30-odd.
I don't get this. There was no blood. Okay, because there's pictures where they're carrying them off and they don't see the. We've all seen the video. There was a ton of fucking blood. Okay, there was so much blood. It was so fucking hard to watch, bro. But okay, this guy didn't get. It's so fucking stupid to say there was no blood. Everybody saw the fucking fountain of blood that came out of. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk's neck.
6. Very quickly, what happens is Andrew Colvett whips up this tweet about what happened with the bullet, and he said he wanted to address all the discussion that was being had about the online chatter. I'm obviously paraphrasing here. He says, I apologize, it's going to get graphic, but he spoke with the surgeon. The bullet should have gone through. The surgeon then explained that what he's typically seen on these wounds, and basically this was all a miracle. Charlie saved lives, even in death. And
this surgeon trying to fucking put it in this way, it is annoying to me. It's like, yeah, you had to make it seem supernatural, like some miracle. Great. That really helps. Now everybody's running with, this is Charlie Kirk. You're saying he has a neck made of steel and blah 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 blah. And it's like, so tiresome. The 30-06 narrative, bro. It's tiresome.
And the internet clocked it. This miracle, the healthy bone. His bone was so healthy, and the density was so impressive. Like, this is a quote, by the way. His bone was so healthy. I want to read it. This is allegedly from a surgeon. Quote: his bone was so healthy, and the density was so impressive.
By the way, Charlie was a bigger guy, so I would assume, what was he, 6'5"? How tall was Charlie Kirk? 6'5", right? Let me double check. I want to get this right. How tall was Charlie Kirk? 6'5". Okay, so he was a big man. 6'5", that's like on the rare scale of size. So I would imagine somebody 6'5" would have stronger bones, or just more dense bones, bigger bones, the best bones, than somebody like, say, me, who's like 5'10", right? It's not the same fucking thing. Although my bones are very fucking powerful. I got thick, powerful bones. But yeah, it's not. It always comes back to like the only reason this whole 30-06 is of any use to the conspiracies is because like it's impossible, right? Once it becomes not impossible, which they've already admitted, they've already changed the goalposts. Oh, we never said it was impossible. Once it becomes not impossible, then what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
That he's like the Man of Steel. It should have gone through and through. It likely would have killed those standing behind him too. And we were just like, that kind of was like the beginning of the WTF, right? I feel like that was kind of the beginning of it. And immediately people in the comments responded to Andrew, and he said, this individual said, this post is so fake as it would violate HIPAA. Like, there's patient privacy. You can't just call up the surgeon. And then Andrew Colbert replies and says, rest assured, I would not have posted without full permission. Now, he said he spoke to the surgeon, and they confirmed that Andrew spoke to the surgeon.
But you guys are doubting my 5'10" claims? You might be right. I might be actually like 5'8" without shoes on. Okay? You might be right. You could be right. But can't I just give myself a couple more inches just to feel better about it? Fuckheads. I'd rather measure myself with 2-inch fucking shoes on, okay?
But that they did not know.
By the way, none of you guys know my height, so you know, I mean, have you guys met me in person and tested my height?
Oh, that he was going to write that tweet. They did not know that he called up the surgeon. So like
nobody's 5'10", guys. You're right. Anybody that says 5'10" is straight up lying. You know,
like Andrew was just.
I'm average height. I'm short. Okay, because if you're average height, that means you're short.
Flying
you can't be average height
by the seat of his pants. I don't know. Like he was just flying dark on me, and I was like, that seems very strange to me, because why would a surgeon do that? Like the first thing the surgeon should say is, I can't speak to you. I don't even know. In theory, Andrew wasn't even there.
So if the surgeon actually said that, then that would just be more conspiracy. Why is the surgeon hiding what's happening? How come the surgeon is hiding information and not telling us? But now the surgeon should not said anything? No, the surgeon should have been just factual and just been like, yeah, the bullet shattered. We found the bullet. We found the pieces of the bullet inside. Like, just been more factual and stop with the fucking, it's a miracle. His bones are made of steel. Like, that shit didn't help anything. But I don't know if that surgeon realized his message was going to be read to the entire fucking world and become such a big thing. He might have thought, you know, I'm trying to actually comfort somebody who was close to Charlie and make them feel better. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it is statistically rare, odd, not the norm for the bullet not to exit. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see more of the details on the type of bullet, if there was a defect in that old rifle that caused it to have like less, you know, feet per second, just made it less powerful, or if it was old fucking ammo, or I mean, who knows? That's the thing. Like, there's too many variables. But that's what, you know, the grifters are doing. They're pretending like, oh, I have all the data and we have it. It's like, no, we don't. You're basically speculating wildly, and you're going to end up looking really stupid doing that.
When Charlie died, I don't even know why the surgeon even
not
knows
one in
this
a million,
guy,
bro. That's retarded.
Maybe he hung around after, but you know, Andrew was not one of the people that got into the hospital or anything like that. So this is quite literally the PR guy who's calling the surgeon, and so that just seems very inappropriate for a person to do, period. And I would say it was kind of the beginning, but that was what I got from that. Now, obviously, we discussed the security. I brought up Brian Harpole, this interview with Sean Ryan, and I think we can believe Turning Point when they say that they did not approve of this. They had no idea he was going on Sean Ryan. I think that's pretty clear. I don't believe he works there anymore. So that was kind of him just getting out there. And
so now she's making excuses for Turning Point USA? I think she took the 7K, guys. I think she did. By the way, I haven't got my 7K yet. Okay, Israel? I'm waiting. All right? It's going to be tough for me to make it this month if I don't get my 7K. Fucking assholes, man.
To rescue his own.
They're always late with the money, dude.
Reputation, and I think that only made his reputation worse, actually, because people rightfully sensed that he wasn't telling the truth in that interview, that he was being cagey, that he was saying things that didn't make any sense. Again, you constantly have these people that believe, like Brian Harpole, that with enough performance, he can sit down and you're just going to convince people that this is real. And this is just a different time. Like I said, these TikTokers are out of control. They will check you in 4 seconds. Okay. Things that the biggest piece of this that I want to communicate, and that I did communicate to them, and I hope that they took me seriously on this, or rather that they take my strong advice on this. I said one of the reasons why I really want to sit down is because I want to walk out of here and feel confident saying to my audience, hey, like, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, but Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I'd like to feel confident about that too, right? So far, I feel like there's no reason for me to doubt it. I have no reason to doubt it. But you know when I will feel like 100% confident to be able to make that decision? When the evidence comes out, when the court case gets into full swing and we start seeing all the evidence the state has, that's when I'll feel confident. Oh, Candy, which is what you should have always fucking said, Like, let's speculate, let's have fun. But you took it too far when you start, insinuating people are guilty of covering up the murder, of committing the murder. That's when you go into crazy town.
Like, that more will come out, but you can take it from me that this is what happened. I was looking to achieve that because there's been a lot of signaling from various people, some people who are experts, some people who have been involved in cases, that there's obviously going to be stuff that the public does not have access to. And so it is at least plausible that they have seen very clear footage that we've been asking for of Tyler Robinson getting up there and taking the shot. Like, they have access to UVU camera. So I was hoping to hear that. And I said that I want to hear why people feel so confident at Turning Point USA that Tyler Robinson is the guy. And
I don't know, DNA evidence, the parents turning him in, the parents believing he's the guy, his confession, which people go, well, he's pleading not guilty. That means he didn't confess. No, it's actually when you have a death penalty at stake, you have to kind of plead not guilty, okay? Because now what the actual trial is going to be about is, yes, proving his guilt, but it's also going to be about, does this equal the death penalty? So that's why you don't plead guilty, because you plead guilty, you just will get the death penalty, right? You want a lower fucking sentence. I might not be explaining that right. I'm not a lawyer, but that's genuinely the gist of it. And yeah, there's just a ton of evidence right now. There's a ton of evidence. And then you can say, well, I don't believe the feds. I don't believe this. Well, again, it's state evidence. It's not the feds. Okay. The state collected the evidence. And there's, of all the evidence in the world, the most evidence points to Tyler Robinson doing this. And I would not be surprised if at some point during the trial, they release some bombshell videos, okay, that show Tyler Robinson more, maybe not him taking the shot. It could have a video of him taking the shot, but more evidence, more video of him at the scene that's going to make it pretty fucking clear. But then, of course, the Candace types, well, Candace not anymore, the people that follow Candace, will just not believe what they don't want to believe. They'll just say, nope, it's all fake, it's all fake, it's all a fucking hoax, false flag, yada, yada. At this point,
they elected to call the lawyer, their lawyer who is involved in this case, one of the lawyers that's involved in this case. There's always a team of lawyers, especially for something like this. And what I got from the lawyer did not make me feel that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. It did not make me feel confident that he didn't or did shoot Charlie Kirk. I was very surprised by this. He spoke a very long time. I asked, can you share with me what it is? And I said, when you share this with me, I will not say what that thing is. If that's what if we want to protect the integrity of the case, I'm not gonna. If you say we've got the footage of him taking a shot, I promise I won't say that to the audience.
Candace, you're so fucking dumb. You don't realize that they're not going to give this footage to TPUSA. They're not going to give this fucking footage to anybody. They're not going to tip their hand. They're not going to have any chance of somebody leaking something that's going to fuck up their trial. That's going to fuck up it's going to taint the jury pool. So yeah, they're not even going to trust TPUSA because that's the fucking procedure. It's not like, oh, you're TPUSA, so we're going to give you everything we have. No, you fucking dumbass. That's got to be saved and it's got to be kept under wraps until the trial, which you guys have tried to use that as evidence of something suspicious going on when that is just typical fucking business, man. It's typical fucking shit that you would see on any trial that's being run right, where there's no leakers.
But I will communicate to them that you have something that is solid. And no, to the exact contrary, this guy effectively said, not effectively, he said that they have nothing, like but the affidavit. Okay, so what?
Yeah, they got what all of us have, dude.
You have what we have.
Which, by the way, we got quite a bit. We got quite a fucking bit. Obviously, not all of it. I don't know. We won't know till we get it all how much of it we have. Ooh, it's thundering, bro. If the stream goes down, it's going to be a thunderstorm happening here soon. So just heads up.
Is what they have. What is being discussed publicly. You are this whole like non-expert problem with like, well, you don't know. It's like what you read. His messages that don't have any dates on it. Tyler Robinson writing out everything and the clean alibi. That's what they have. Which was backed up by one of their friends that knew them really well and said, yeah, that's actually the way they talk. It's weird, but that's how they talk. You know, the guy that was the guy that Turkey Tom made a video on, the guy who was there for the Magic. I mean, he was part of their little friend group, like not just an outside part of it. He was there for the fucking Magic games and blah, 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 blah. And the weird fucking romance between Tyler and Lance, whatever the fuck that other weirdo guy was. But yeah, no one says vehicle. Oh, obviously the feds wrote this. This is all a cover up. And what he explained to me was that that's the affidavit.
People say vehicle and people talk fucking weird, especially when they're already weird. Okay, go look at Lance Briggs, whatever the fuck that guy's name is. I keep forgetting. Lance whatever. And Tyler Robinson, go do a little investigation of those two. They're fucking weirdos. It's not weird that weirdos talk like fucking weirdos, okay?
Stage, that's where it's at. And then what takes place now is the investigation is ongoing, right? So right now they're looking for more information. And once investigators, they could very well have obviously footage. And that is why they might feel that, oh, we're definitely gonna get this prosecution. But the reality is they don't actually share that information with the victim. They don't share that information with Erica. They don't, in this part of the process, they will not know what investigators have discovered. This is what the lawyer told me until May. Okay. They have not seen anything that you have not seen is what I want you to know. So with that in mind, I'm sitting here going, why are you signaling? Why do I feel like the public's being gaslit on this? There's been nothing that's convincing. There are so many commentators who have gone.
There's actually been a lot of shit that's convincing. You just refuse to believe it. You refuse to believe the texts. You refuse to believe the Discord messages. You refuse to believe his parents. You refuse to believe himself, who turned himself. So yeah, it's just because you refuse to believe it, Candace. That's why you're not convinced.
Out and said to you, it's overwhelming. The evidence is overwhelming. The text messages that don't have a date, that don't even sound real.
That's your evidence. There's no timestamp. Which, by the way, I don't know, maybe their phone was set like mine, because mine, when you start off the conversation, you'll see the timestamp, but then you won't see a timestamp again. So, but that proves it's fake. Oh, they used the word vehicle. That proves it's fake. Candace is using the word vehicle. She literally tweeted and said vehicle the other day in reference to Tyler Robinson's car that was transporting him to the court, got in a wreck, and she referred to it as a vehicle. So did the FBI write that text, Candace? You see, this is like just retarded, sloppy thinking. And then when we go and we're like, this is not how you investigate something, Candace. This is not how an investigator would behave. Oh, you took the $7,000. It's like, no, I'd actually like to, if there's a conspiracy here, I'd like to actually uncover it. But this is not how you uncover it. This is not straight fucking logical thinking. This is just jumping to wild fucking conclusions that you want to be true. Oh, this is just weird. I don't want to believe it. That's what it comes down to. Your evidence is, this is weird. I refuse to believe it.
That's overwhelming. That to me feels really fake and gay. I really do want to say that to every commentator that is out there trying to tell the public and insisting that if you say it enough times to become real, you're actually just being dishonest. And I offered that a more honest way to communicate would be to say, we think he's involved. We feel strongly. I've said that. I think he's involved. We are very hopeful that.
So she's changing her story, because before she wasn't even sure if he existed. And now it's, I think he was involved, but I'm not convinced he pulled the trigger or that he acted alone. Okay, well, that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable. Okay, because yeah, that's a possibility. And when we get more evidence, we'll be able to make that conclusion. And right now, we just have to trust fucking shithead Kash Patel when he says it was FBI looked into it and they didn't find any like other people involved. Do I buy that? I don't know. I think there definitely could be other people involved, but it also is possible that there weren't. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get some conclusive fucking evidence that really, points everything out, makes clear what was going on. We'll see. This court, this case, I'm going to be covering it. I think this is probably going to be the last time I'm going to cover this until the case. Because I think Candace is done. We covered a lot of people like, why are you obsessed with Candace? Dude, this is the biggest fucking thing going on right now, okay? And yes, I'm fucking entertained by it. I also care about it because I care about independent journalism. I care about stupid fucking YouTubers actually doing good work and not discrediting people on YouTube and making them all look like a bunch of fucking idiots who are just grifting for money. I do kind of care about that shit. And I also care about not like the what I think is the real story here, which is leftist violence, the ramping up of leftist violence against right-wing people. Like, I think that is an important aspect to the story that shouldn't be overlooked because that is not going away. That's a real concern that's just continuing to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And we can't just push that under the rug because it's more fun to talk about Israel.
Throughout this investigation, we are going to get that concrete thing. And that's where we're at right now. That's just the stage that we are at. That is not what we are getting from them. That is like, I just feel like that's really important to let you guys know. Let the gaslighting stop. They have what you have. Okay. There is nothing else. They are in an investigative stage. Erica has been named as the victim.
She's literally defending them. Okay. I think we've heard enough here. She talks about the Egyptian planes though. Oh, this is pretty cool. A friend of the show, Viva Frey, got featured on this stream that's already got 2.2 million views. At the time, it was like 300 something thousand concurrent viewers. But yeah, shout out to friend of the show, Viva Frey.
Get to Viva Frey, who,
and I think Viva's on the money with his questions. I think that's more where we need to be. We need to be like, okay, everything points to this Tyler guy. What was going on behind the scenes? Was there anybody influencing him? Was there any sort of maybe government operation behind the scenes that were picking him? Like there are fucking questions. And we need to get back to that. We need to get back to like an honest investigation and not just reaching at anything that's going to be the craziest fucking thing that's going to get the most views and make people hate TPUSA because you're a scorned woman that wants to attack an enemy or whatever the fuck. We need to get back to like rational investigation.
Who had this to say regarding drones? Oh, sorry. Around regarding the text messages from Tyler Robinson.
A lot has been made about these text exchange that went back and forth between Robinson and his lover, his trans furry gay lover, whatever. And people say it doesn't sound right. Well, there is a video that I want everybody to check out by Turkey Tom. I believe you've watched it now.
Oh yeah, this is what I just talked about.
Oh, Viva, where
but of course they won't believe it. It's a fake video. The guy who's pretending to be their friend, he was never really their friend. He was. It's so convenient that every time there's information that goes against what you want to be the case, you just deny it and say it's fake. Kind of convenient that you guys do that so often.
This has been authenticated as somebody who was in the Discord chats with them and apparently spent time with them at this apartment. And he said 100% this is how they talked, which is a striking finding. We're going to go into that more probably tomorrow or the next day, depending on how today goes. But I mean, I get the skepticism on this. At first, it struck me too. But apparently, this is how they talk, Viva.
That was not the most implausible thing to believe. Okay, so you have a text message. It does read, regardless of whether or not this is how they talk. People saying they were manufactured by or drafted by AI. To the extent that they're confirmed text messages, you can, come to whatever conclusions you want after that. But whether or not this is how they talk regularly, to the extent that those were authentic text messages, they show what they show, which is whether or not his lover was aware of what was going on. You're etching bullets, and it's maybe not for target practice of a sporting nature. But like when I say I don't believe the official narrative, and you have to go back to a number of things here. I put my sort of best theory as to what went down. I want to know who was on the Discord chat in advance, what they were discussing, and whether or not there might have been some other I say foreign, not foreign government, but outer influence there. Tyler Robinson is getting radicalized right about the same time as Thomas Crooks, right about the same time as the other guy, Ryan Ruth. He's being radicalized at a politically relevant period of time, right around the same time, oddly enough, as the alleged suspect in the January 6th pipe bomber. A time frame where political violence is potentially very useful in for the upcoming election. So
what I'd like to know is what was this kid's fucking algorithm? That would be interesting, right? Like if you could go and like see his watch history for like the last 2 years and like everything he fucking took in on the internet, like what was the algorithm feeding this kid? Was it a bunch of Trump derangement fucking bullshit? Because that would explain a lot. That would explain a lot.
The time frame of the radicalization is very interesting. To see whether or not he was on anybody's radar beforehand, we don't yet know that, and why there would not be confirmation on that can lead to suspicion. You remember the old man, George Zinn, arrested for claiming to be the shooter the day of and then gets busted for CP on his phone. Like, in my mind, if I'm making a plausible theory here, George Zinn was probably on some Discord chat with a bunch of young perverts, and he's an old pervert, and he's getting off doing whatever they do on those chats. He knows what's going down. He shows up there and thinks he's going to be some useful decoy or distraction for Tyler Robinson because they know what's going down. That's my theory. But, you know, it is.
I'm very suspicious of that old guy, too. Like, did he know? Was he working with Tyler? Was he trying to fucking be a patsy for Tyler? I don't know.
The absence
Very
of total
weird.
disclosure.
Very weird, especially, you know, when you combine that with like all the people saying this was going to happen. It could be. I mean, you remember when who's the wrestler that killed his wife and kid? Benoit, Chris Benoit. Somebody posted on Wikipedia. So Benoit didn't show up to the show, and nobody knew what was going on. And at that time, when everybody was just kind of, they hadn't found Benoit yet and his family, there was a guy who posted on Wikipedia from fucking Australia that that basically he was dead and his wife and kids were dead. The guy nailed the fucking story. They chased it down. They went and talked to the guy. It was like some kid in Australia who was just fucking goofing around on Wikipedia. And it's like, sometimes weird shit happens, bro. You know, a lot of people wanted something like this to happen, and that might have been why they were talking about it. But I would hope they would investigate all these people, like get all of their communications and make sure there was no connection to Tyler Robinson at all.
Total lack of faith that anybody has, not just in the FBI per se, but in any state law enforcement. Nobody has any faith in our institutions anymore, and it leads people to go.
Are y'all talking shit about Viva's hairline? Is that what's going on here? How dare you? He's got a great hairline. It's just the fucking the headphones pushing it back. How dare you talk about that, my boy Viva? He's a good dude. So yeah, this is what a lot of people are jumping on, the numbers. The numbers, bro.
Super chatted $2. Ping my fucking trip.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you, Redog, for the 2, brother. Appreciate you. So this is it. We need a wellness check on all the shills immediately. 323K watching. That doesn't mean anything, Coach Colin. It doesn't mean shit, bro. But, you know, a lot of this shit is crashing down right now, and that's what they have to jump to, which is like, oh, look how many views we're doing. Oh, we're so great, and they're so stupid, and we're so right. And it's like, no, bro. No, not how it works. Here's Candace Owens reacting to all the negative comments, blaming it on bots.
Mr. Bruce Lee writes, people in the chat, many other channels are not hearing what they want to hear. So it's automatically, well, Candace got paid. The chats are so botted. It's better to actually look at comments after the episode to see what people think.
That's a good idea. Maybe we should, do you guys want to check out the comments? Let's see what people are saying in our comment section.
And we've had so many people talk about how there are
out.
so many bots in the chat. And so focus on obviously the words that I am saying. And obviously you can tell that I have not been paid, because I wouldn't be talking about Israel. And I think there's something to explore there.
I don't buy that. You think Israel's not going to pay people to talk about Israel and be like, pretend to be anti-Israel, but they're actually pro-Israel? Like, you don't think, come on. It's the reason why a lot of people think Nick is a Fed. Like, he's the best thing that ever happened to Israel. Let's see. I don't know. Do we have Candace in here? Here we go. Let's see. Let's see some of the comments. Should we go by newest? Let's go by newest. Oh, real Candace. She's frustrated. Oh, boy. Right away. We got a Candace. Okay, guys. I'm a bit frustrated by the comments here. Foremost, I was only given the option for a closed-door meeting. I obviously agreed to it. It was almost 5 hours long. I need more time to digest. I just wanted to present the facts to you all today of what they said without any of my own innuendo, because there is a lot to digest and pray about. It's difficult to put into words what it's like to be in my position and to have to consider the scenarios that no person on earth should have to consider. Candace, come on. Look, the best thing for you to do, Candace, is to ratchet it back a little bit, start preparing for the trial, start reporting on the trial like somebody who's sane and not somebody who's crazy, right? And just let the fucking crash out It will work its way through the system, okay? Eventually, within 2 weeks, the crash out, everybody will be moved on to something else. It looks like she's not happy about these comments, bro. It's difficult to put into words what it's like to be in my position and have to consider the scenarios that no person on earth should have to consider. How many people can even say they've watched a friend of theirs be murdered in cold blood over politics and then has to consider the possibility that entire governments collude to make it happen? Maybe she is crazy, guys. She might have gone crazy. That entire governments colluded to make it happen, maybe even the people close to them, all while being attacked from every media group and influencer in the world. It's very heavy stuff, guys.
At Freeman3 super chatted $5. Negative, I am a meat popsicle.
Okay, thank you, Freeman. What's up, Darren?
At Darren Verney 3662 super chatted $1.99. Candace, please be my first black chick. Love you.
Good luck, Darren. I mean, I don't know if you can compete with British royalty, bro. That's a rough one. I would say, like, normally, under normal circumstances, a chick like this, yeah, you could. But she's pulling royal dudes, bro. Billionaire royal dudes. So yeah, it's clearly the comments are not going well. And it's only got 178 upvotes from an hour ago on a video with 2.2 million. So anybody trying to cope and be like, actually it wasn't that bad. Actually, Candace was great. And then, dude, her audience is not enjoying this. They're not liking feeling like idiots, because I think some of them are just feeling like idiots because they might be realizing, like, holy shit, like, this woman just took me down. And then the other people are just like, oh, she sold out. She's covering up for TPUSA now. I wonder what she agreed to in the meeting. I wonder what it took, what bribe it was that got her to finally stop talking about it. Man, fuck you, Candace. You let us the fuck down. Only thing you confirmed was the power that they have, and it's sickening. Dude, it's not. Poor thing. Now I'm actually going to feel bad for Candace now. Honestly, if this could I could at some point start feeling bad for Candace if this keeps up. So let down by this episode. America First, live on Rumble tonight. Dude, I bet you Nick Fuentes is going to enjoy the fuck out of this, dude. Nick's going to be on Rumble just so happy because so many people were, like, his own audience were attacking him over this shit. Blake Neff is an archetypal smoose, okay? Comments passed the vibe check, thank God. Anyone notice how Andrew Colvett definitely need a collab with Baron? Baron's the dude pushing the electrocution narrative. It's going to be Baron and Ian are going to probably pick up a lot of this audience, and they're just going to keep running and feeding this horde of retards, bro. They're just going to keep feeding them conspiracy after conspiracy. We love you very much, Miss Candace, and I love watching you, and I keep asking that we keep you in prayers for your safety. Okay, well, we got one loyal soldier here. Laughing Mouse, I would love to know what it took to compromise Candace so quickly and shamelessly. Man, it's so hard when you have to, like, please the crowd. Like, you have to stop caring at a certain point. Like, for me, look, I love it when the crowd's like, oh, you're great job, Ping. Everybody's kissing your ass. That's great. Like, I'm a human. It feels good. But what's more important to me is actually following the right compass to truth, because that's what I care about.
2,181 super chatted $19.99. The difference between Candace and an insane homeless bum is only money.
Well, I mean, you got to give her credit. Like, she still can talk, right? Like, a homeless bum will just be like rambling crazy shit. At least she can take the crazy ramblings in her head and make them palatable. You got to give her that credit. But I do agree with your statement there. I mean, it's technically schizophrenia, This is what it seems like to me. But I don't know. I can't say whether it's schizophrenia. She's crazy. She's a grifter. I don't know. She's just definitely lost the plot in one way or the other. Thank you for the 20, Spocko. You rock, brother. Who are the 93K liking this video? The 93K who still can't see clearly. Like this comment if you feel like the authenticity is in the voice to persuade us, but it's not the message anymore. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of crazy people. Damn, Candace, I think you might be compromised. Private meetings never bring helpful public results. Yeah, she was right. We did need to check the comments to confirm. She was like, it's all bots in the live chat. What you really need to do is read the comments. That's how you'll really know. Yeah, we know. We could see Candace. No, let's see. Let's just scroll down. Let's just get a random part. Dissatisfaction. Your credibility is shot. It's time to decenter the podcasters. Something felt off for me as soon as that lead came through after she attended mass. I tuned out for a couple days and felt like I was done watching her show. I shows up curious about all that would tell from this interview with Eric. I mean, look, these people, maybe I can't read. I don't know. I honestly didn't expect her to let down her audience quite this badly. Sigh. All right, I'm out. I love those messages. I get those all the time. Oh, you're doing live streams now? Pfft, unsubbed. I'm out. Fuck this. Eesh, eesh. See, the thing is, this is always the hardest to take when it's such an abrupt swing, right? When you go from like everybody loves you, everybody kisses your ass, and then it just overnight is the exact opposite. That can be a shock to the system. But you're supposed to be a pro, Candy. You can't let this shit get to you. What you should care about, Candy, is not pleasing this fucking retarded mob, but actually trying to provide some value and actually try to find the truth. That should be what matters most to you, Candy. And I think you lost the plot trying to please these fucking weirdos, bro. Attention, and obviously you're not all, like, if you fell for this, you're not a weirdo. Sometimes I use bombastic, over-the-top language. Obviously, every situation is unique, and don't take it personally, okay? Candace, I will never listen to you again, you sellout. Attention is the new currency. Oh, well, this guy knows something. We can never get the hours back that we plugged into watching this show. And that's all, and exactly what it is. It is possible that Candace is under the impression that she can continue to elongate the 4.5-hour conversation into several different podcasts. And there will be many who will, out of weakness, continue to subscribe their time to whatever comes out of her mouth. Did Candace flip? Yeah, this is not good. Wow, disappointing. Wow. Now Candace is upset about innuendo against her, which is exactly what she's been doing for the last 3 months. Fake and gay. A lot of Fed bots engaging in this comment section. That's what it is, guys. Now her own fans are fucking being called bots. So sad. Poor Candy. Poor Candy. Hopefully she'll be all right. But hey, guys, there was 323,000 watching, so this is a win, dude. This is a win. Oh, man, the haters are crying about her numbers. Oh, my God, bro. Come on. Colin, you're a good dude. I think you got to understand, Colin, this Candace Owens grift is not going to last forever, bro. There might be a point where you might need to realize, like, okay, all right, I've gone along with this enough. Maybe I should start looking at this more rationally. So here's the, this is where we're at now. Was Charlie electrocuted? See, Ian's positioning himself to take over this grift, bro. He's like, yeah, everything else has been kind of fucking debunked. To the Russian planes, that's been debunked. The 30-06 never exits, that's been debunked. Okay, listen, we need something new here. Electrocution.
At Hydrax 2478 super chatted $3. Thoughts on Tucker clip farming recently? Why thoughtful face emoji.
Are we talking about the clip farming with him dropping the F-bomb? I mean, I know because like Nick referred to it as clip farming. I don't know. I like the interview with Piers Morgan. I liked him putting him on the spot to try to say the word and kind of making a point as to how fucked things are in Britain right now, where you can't even use that word without risk of being locked up. Is that what we're talking about, or is there something else I missed, Hydra? I might have missed it. Thank you for the 3, bro. Chat comment, Bot Wars destroyed her career in 3 months for some t-shirt and mug sales. I mean, she did do really well. I mean, there's people that destroyed their career for less views than that. I mean, 250,000 fucking concurrent viewers is pretty fucking insane. But yeah, guys, here's the next one. Charlie was electrocuted. Keep the grift going. Keep it going. Candace fans think that Charlie was electrocuted by his necklace. See, this one's so dumb, even Candace can't go along with it, dude.
That knows that it's not worth living life that way. My whole spirit would be corrupted. I couldn't do it. I struggle with people that can do it. I struggle seeing people who have so obviously sold their souls on the internet. It's very frustrating to watch it. Central 848 writes, Candace, please look into the possibility that Charlie was electrocuted and that the hole in his neck was made by the currents passing through his necklace and out of his throat. The images of his charred hands are conclusive and compelling. Please, for the love of God, look into this. I did watch that video that Baron Coleman put together. First and foremost, I want to say Baron Coleman has done some incredible.
Thank you, El Jefe. 10 gifts, bro. El Jefe, thank you so much, bro. I need to create a whole new thing for just you, bro, for all the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you, El Jefe. Welcome to the 10. Say thank you to El Jefe for his generosity. He's a very generous man. Very, very generous man. He's basically Santa Claus. Thank you, El Jefe. You rock, bro. Really, I really appreciate it, dude. Especially the last couple of days, man. It's been pretty slow, so Really appreciate you. So yeah, Candace doesn't even buy this theory, dude.
And I actually told him that
Welcome
we should
all the
get
new
together
members.
and collaborate because I had watched a video of his where he was building on Camp Huachuca, and he made me notice some things. So then we started researching some other elements, and that's what we're going to move on to tomorrow. I can tell you definitively that's a weird camera angle. They do look charred in the photos that he showed, but I can tell you that his hands were not charred when he was buried. And so what you thought that like people were like, oh, this was like makeup and stuff. It was a very compelling theory. It just wasn't so. And I very much trust the person.
So I think she's going to pull back. Again, it's a smart move because the case is coming up and we're going to be back into the real world where we actually have to deal with real evidence and not just speculation and denial, you know? So I think she's going to pull back a little bit, although she doesn't seem to be pulling back from the Egyptian planes thing. Oh, here's Tim. I didn't watch much of this, but I was like, let me save this because I bet you Tim's having a field day. Let's see what Tim says.
We got this tweet first off from Colin Rugg. He says, Candace Owens says her meeting with Erica Kirk was productive and says she is very happy that we are on much better feet. Many of her super chatters were not happy with her throughout the show as she shared details about her meeting with Erica. Despite the productive meeting, Owens said she still felt there were shady characters at TPUSA. Toward the end of her show, Owens addressed some of the negative comments and accused the chat of being botted. Take a look at this. One chat says, people may call this dumb, but Candace looking to the right too much. Mikey phone call doesn't add up with her timeline. And WTF are you putting the plane debunking on the website, not YouTube?
So Tim is doing what I did earlier, which is like, let's go read these comments, bro. Let's dive in. Sometimes the comment section is the most entertaining part of a video.
One says, Fuentes, if you see this, please expose who this actor is and who funds her. You have the green light. One person saying, wow, this breaks my heart. Another says, this is just a word salad. She is rambling. Sad to say, but you are not passing the vibe check. The market is always right, and the chat is overwhelmingly saying you are not the same. Oh, it gets crazier. Candace having to tell her audience she doesn't have the goods. It's not going well. Here's more. One person says, so in other words, you were wrong about everything you said. Another person says it wasn't a plane. It was really a flying carpet. Candace has been set up. These bits in the room are next level. Another person saying, is this an apology video for Candace? And here's where it gets real fun. One person saying, Candace Owens has either been cloned or threatened. She is backtracking and backsliding after her productive meeting with Erica Kirk. It's over.
Man, it's got to be difficult. Like if that's the crowd you're appealing to is the fucking flat earth crazy town crowd, I don't know how you get out of a situation unscathed like that. Like it's clearly going to go bad unless you just go complete crazy town with them.
Here's one. One person tweeting, this is super suspicious. I think she got cloned. They're officially promoting the new Candace. Another individual.
Artificially, Tim. Learn to read. Learn to read, Tim.
Individual says, we will only see a clone of Candace from December 16th onward. It takes 3 months to grow a clone, hence why it took them until now to finally have this meeting. She was a nice girl. I hope her and Ye's clone still get along in the future. I hope that's a joke. I don't think it is.
That's my favorite one.
It's not a joke.
I mean, who knows, dude? This is the problem. Like, it could be a joke, but it also could be real because there are people that will joke like that, but there's also crazy people who will actually believe something like that. So it's the internet, bro. Everybody's got a voice.
How do you deal with this kind of psychosis with people?
You know, a smile.
When you prey, which is what Candace Owens has done, when you prey emotionally on the most fringe of American society,
the most vulnerable,
the most vulnerable, and the
yes, S Terminus. I did. The day it happened, I did react to Styx and Hammer getting arrested in his pirate outfit. Poor guy. Pray for Styx. Pray for him to get off the booze, whatever the fuck's going on. The guy's lost it, man. I don't know. Crazy. Like I said, I think it's just a simple booze and crazy women. They're just not a good combination. But shouts out to you, Styx. I'm praying for you. Get off the fucking booze, bro.
The most insane and probably eventually the most violent. This is what happens. And you know, we can talk about what really happened in that meeting, but Candace's audience is eating itself. And am I wrong to say it's kind of beautiful to see it at the same time?
It really is. I mean, I was a big Candace Owens fan, big Tucker Carlson fan. I can't believe what I've witnessed, the craziness, the insanity. I mean, 3 months ago, we were flying through the U.S. Everything it was all going right. The Dems were completely dead. There was never going to be. We were going to have all the power. And
yeah, and then fucking Elon Musk and Donald Trump got into a little fight, and it's all been downhill since then, bro. It really feels that way. Ever since Trump and fucking Elon broke up, Trump's been bad. It's just, oh man, it does suck because if you think about that time, you know, when Doge was kicking off, like things seemed so promising, and then now it's like, what are we doing? How long before the Dems are back in charge? Because that's what's going to happen.
And then her, and I think Tucker also decided, let's see if we could fracture the right as much as we can with craziness. And I just don't know, how can anybody believe what's coming
If
up?
I could figure out a way how to recall 50 to 60,000 books, because I have a Candace Owens blurb on the back of one of my books. And I've been trying to figure out how to financially do it, but so far to no avail. It's a weird space for me, just like it is with YouTube.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what Tim had to say. We won't watch too much because I haven't watched this. I saw that he started talking about it. I was like, oh, we'll get into it. So here's the debunk of the Egyptian planes. Okay. We all knew this was going to happen. And here we are.
On September 10th, 2025.
First of all, I don't believe this. Because who dresses like that? There's no way this guy's not a Fed. We know you're a Fed. We're on to you, bro. Nobody dresses like that unless they're a Fed. I don't believe this.
Charlie
just
Kirk
kidding, by the
was
way.
shot and killed at Utah Valley University. Police say they have the shooter. There is a confession, DNA, and a recovered weapon. His name is Tyler Robinson. His parents identified him from FBI photos and helped turn him in. But online, a very different story has taken hold. A story claiming this wasn't a lone gunman, but a coordinated multinational operation involving Egypt.
Is that a Terminator, bro? Cloud K. You're right. This guy might be a fucking been sent from the future to save save humanity from the coming AI fucking takeover, dude.
Israel, France.
He does glow. Look, Olive, I'm not going to deny he does glow. It was a bad choice, right? Maybe he's trying to troll the Candace people because he's like, you know what? I'm just going to look like a Fed and freak them out. But it was a bad choice, bro. You know, at least get rid of the glasses.
The United States, federal agencies, TPUSA executives, Bridget Macron, and even French legionnaires. And at the center of it all are two planes. Candace Owens has told millions of people that two Egyptian military aircraft, SU-BTT and SU-BND, tracked Erica Kirk's movements 73 times over 3 years.
Between 2022 and September of 2025, both of those aircrafts, SU-BTT, the yellow plane, and SU-BND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erica's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay? And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. I am telling you this information has been completely verified. I am showing you this on a spreadsheet now. These are all the instances.
So this is where she fucked up. She shouldn't have showed the spreadsheet because this is actually all they needed to debunk this shit was this spreadsheet.
In which this plane, 68 instances that this plane crossed with Erica.
She says the odds of this happening randomly are
less than a 0.00000001% probability.
Yeah, we all know how good women are at math, right? So I'll take your word at that because women are so fucking good at math, bro.
Okay, under random distribution models, that these Egyptian planes coincidentally landed around Erica at these times.
In her words, the Egyptian planes hold the key.
The Egyptian planes hold the key, and that is obvious. Maybe these planes might be the key to everything. They hold the key to solving Charlie's assassination.
Egypt to Israel to France, the United States to TPUSA to Charlie's murder. This entire web rests on one claim, that these two Egyptian planes tracked Erica Kirk 73 times. To support it, Candace said she used Flight Radar 24 and showed a spreadsheet on her screen. I screenshotted that spreadsheet and rebuilt it line by line. She says she verified everything using Flight Radar 24. So I did exactly what she claimed she did.
So here's the steps if you want to confirm this guy's thing, because people are saying, this is bullshit, this is bullshit. Okay, well, if you're going to make claims like this, you should maybe be interested in actually checking the fucking facts and going over and double checking this guy's work, which I've heard tons of people have. And this guy's absolutely correct from everybody that's paid the money to get this data.
I bought the Flight Radar 24 business subscription, the same one she says she used. Then I went further. I purchased a $950 3-year flight log from FlightAware to independently verify every entry. When you compare what the planes are actually doing to what Candace claims they did, the results aren't close. 66% of her location claims are wrong.
So all the red is where she's wrong, where the plane's not even where they claim it is. The yellow, it's partially accurate, and the green ones, she's accurate. So good work, Candace. Good work. Did you even double check your work, Candace, or did you just take some random fucking thing somebody sent you in your audience and just ran with it because it was a good story? Seems like, you know, if you want to be a fucking proper journalist, you might want to double check these type of things before you run with them to 250,000 fucking people, Candace.
And in 60% of the cases, the aircraft is on an entirely different continent. She has devoted much of her last 21 episodes.
Not even on the same continent. Do you hear that? Not even on the same fucking continent.
To tying Charlie Kirk's murder to an international conspiracy centered on these two aircraft.
Egyptian plane, Egyptian planes, Egyptian military planes, Egyptian planes, Egyptian planes, Egyptian plane, Egyptian planes, Egyptian military planes, Egyptian planes, Egyptian military plane, Egyptian planes.
I think what happened is that she ran out of shit to talk about. And this was just the most fucking cool theory that she could fucking present to just fill time. I think a lot of this is Candace just filling time, knowing like I got to stay on this topic because this is what my audience wants. This is what's growing my audience to fucking massive numbers. So I just need, this is just a time filler, I think.
Egyptian plane, Egyptian planes, Egyptian planes, Egyptian military planes, Egyptian planes.
Candace claimed a source contacted her DIA hotline, alleging Egyptian passengers were escorted off one of the planes in Wilmington, Delaware by federal agents into a building housing the FBI, DOJ, DHS, and Secret Service. She presented this as evidence of U.S. government collusion.
I think we just want to know what he did wrong, okay? Because that email, that checks out. Yeah. Secret Service, the FBI, the DEA being involved, why this plane, the quote-unquote Egyptian plane, landed into Wilmington, that checks out.
She publicly questioned Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, and Joe Kent, suggesting they knew about this conspiracy and were covering it up.
I think we know why Kash Patel is out, right? I mean, I read this, checked it, verified it, and I just want to know why Charlie. I want to know why the decision was made to murder Charlie Kirk, a decision that very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends.
She suggested.
Let's not forget, okay? Let's not forget. All of his friends are responsible for this shit. Oh, sorry. Let me turn this back on. Darren Verney. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I'll replay it here. Got to hear Joe yell. There we go. Doesn't work if Joe's not yelling, bro.
At Darren Verney 3,662 super chatted $4.99. Candace, I don't have whole lot of money, but I can fix you, baby. Come move in with me and we'll take it from there.
Bro, I mean, don't give up. You know what they say? If you're in love, bro, never give up. Never give up. You know, maybe she'll get bored of being part of British royalty, you know? Maybe she'll get bored of those billions of dollars, bro, and need a real man like you, Darren. Keep it up, bro. I'm on your side, bro. I'm rooting for you.
TPUSA knew.
And maybe you can set her straight too, Darren, because whoever the dude she's with now, he may be British royalty, but he's a fucking pussy, right? She needs a real man like Darren. She would have never crashed out like this if she had a real man like Darren. Guaranteed.
About the planes and tried to kill the story.
There are good guys everywhere. You know, lightness is always fighting darkness. And I received an interesting tip from a Fed that I'm going to share with you now that might be relevant. But Turning Point USA put in a personal request to try to get the Egyptian plane story killed, you know, and I find that to be very interesting. What is it about these Egyptian planes that Turning Point USA didn't want them to be discussed? I don't know. But I am going to find out. I think we kind of have found out in a weird, really effed up way, actually. It makes my stomach turn.
She claimed Israelis, Zionists, and the U.S. government panicked when she mentioned them.
I can tell you that right now in government, there is real panic. There is real discussion happening regarding the Egyptian planes. It is 1,000% legit, and it caused a lot of panic. And we're getting a lot of phone calls now from people telling us it has caused panic.
And that Israel censored her TikTok videos about the planes.
Speaking of the unique relationship between Egypt and Israel, TikTok is hitting us for videos talking about the Egyptian planes.
I love how, look, I'm not going to speak to like, I'm sure they're going to get more hardcore on TikTok about like, you know, anti-Jewish rhetoric and talking about Israel. I'm sure. But let's not pretend like TikTok wasn't doing this shit already, like for the longest fucking time. I tried to post to TikTok because people kept stealing my videos and posting to TikTok. I posted 3 videos, 2 out of 3 got hit with community fucking violations and got removed. My good friend Davey Jackson, He had his entire TikTok account nuked for literally making a parody video making fun of fucking Joe Biden. And this was years ago, okay? TikTok has always been dog shit, and it's going to continue to be dog shit. And we should all be fucking, protesting and just boycotting fucking TikTok.
That's very strange.
Like I do. Boycott that shitty fucking site, dude. Fuck TikTok.
Israel's moderator served in the IDF, we know, and Bibi wants TikTok secured for Israel's future. Why do they care about Egyptian planes that were there? It's kind of coming together. There's a picture here that's coming together.
She linked the planes to France through Satis, a French aerospace company operating in Wilmington.
Now I consider Satis, which according to our source, our well-placed source, is a front, right? Suddenly this French company comes in and leases a hangar for only 2 years, okay? And immediately this becomes a location where our Egyptian military plane is going to land in Wilmington, Delaware. I don't think we can reasonably ignore that odd French company in Delaware now that our source proved to us that it certainly wasn't established to provide any maintenance to those Egyptian planes.
Her source, some random fucking old lady that sent her an email or some shit. I don't know. Her source is like, it's a little sketchy, bro. So much of the tips and sources are just probably people pranking her. I mean, this whole Egyptian thing might have been somebody fucking pranking her because to like make that many mistakes on the location, it's almost like it's not an accident at a certain point. And was this a prank on Candace that she fell for?
And it was more than likely a front for something else. We should address that. Because I know that many of you guys are wondering whether or not Charlie's assassination was meant to distract us from the Brigitte Macron investigation. And rightfully.
I'll try to skip through this, but not only was she wrong about the data, but she was, let's get back to this.
The actual data, 66% are wrong. 39 of the 65 verifiable entries place the plane on the wrong continent. She says the planes are tracking Erica. The aircraft are thousands of miles away. These are
So it's in Cairo while it's supposed to be tracking Erica.
not minor errors. They're continent-level inaccuracies. They collapse the foundation of her theory. But there's a deeper problem. Candace provides no verifiable evidence for Erica Kirk's location. No timestamps, no travel records, no photos, nothing. Her entire overlap model depends on data the public cannot verify, and that she herself cannot independently confirm. If her flight data is wrong 66% of the time, the real error rate for the supposed overlaps, once you account for Erica's unverified locations, is likely above 90%. Which means the overlaps aren't real, and without them, the conspiracy collapses. And there's zero proof these planes ever tracked Erica. Not once. The story collapses the moment you check the receipts. Charlie Kirk's murder is a tragedy. 2 children lost their father.
I think they also had like the location data was like within 150 miles in 1 to 3 days. So if the plane was anywhere near her within 150 miles within 1 to 3 days of her being there, it's just, I think she got pranked, bro. I think she got pranked. She responded to it today, and she's moving the ball now. Now it's not about they were tracking Erica Kirk. It's about they're definitely connected to Israel. But at least she responded.
I want to add, of course, I was locked in this meeting when people online were another round of debunking the Egyptian planes. I want to be very clear. We discussed the Egyptian planes, and I have since worked on an incredible document about the Egyptian planes, which we are going to put up on our website, because I realized that when we shared that spreadsheet, people assumed that one of the columns, which was actually saying where the planes landed on that day, because it was plus or minus 3 days, was exactly
plus or minus 3 days. That's I mean, that right there just tells you it's such fucking bullshit. Plus or minus 3 days, also 150 mile radius.
Where Erica had been on that day.
Look, I bet you, I think I saw Tim say this earlier. I bet you if you tracked all the Israeli flights that are flying over Candace's head every day, that would probably prove maybe Candace is working with Israel. Why are there so many planes flying over your head, so many Israeli planes flying over your head? And I guarantee you, if you looked at the fucking data, you could find a ton of planes flying over Candace's head. Why is that? I'm just asking questions.
And that was inaccurate. And so for clarity, I had been working on the last week on turning it into an interactive timeline that we can put up on our website, because I am certain that these Egyptian planes are incredibly shady and that they were in fact tracking Turning Point USA, Faith, broader events. Of course, Erica was at some of them, Charlie was at some of them, but it is the pattern here is undeniable. So let the naysayers and people make videos trying to, fifth round debunk these planes.
You mean the video that shows that you were wrong about 66% of the time on where the actual plane was? The naysayers? You mean the people actually showing your fucking, checking your work? You might as well treat that guy like your fucking middle school math teacher who's grading your paper and putting red marks every time you fucked up. Because that's what it was. He graded it and you got a fucking F-, dumbass.
I also want to say to you that I feel very confident that I know why these planes have caused such panic, and it is because there is overwhelming evidence that these planes regularly fly in and out of Israel.
Do they also regularly fly out of America and out of other countries as well? But it only matters that they fly in and out of Israel. She's so fucked with this one, so she's going to have to move the goalpost, bro. She's going to have to move it. She's so fucked, even Alex Jones is calling her out.
Candace Owens has told millions of people that 2 Egyptian military aircraft.
Alex is done sitting on the sidelines on this one. He's like, oh, I got to take back this false flag shit. I got to take it back from these amateurs.
To move
SU, like,
this.
We already saw this. I'm just trying to forward it. Come on, Alex. There you go.
Breakdown of just the planes and the data that she was given that she believes she checked out. And I'll give it to her. I don't know how to check this out, but they've had experts check it out. And what she said was 66% inaccurate. Now, TPUSA's told me it's still weird. These planes, a few times we're doing this. Who knows? Maybe Israel was involved. We don't know.
Because that's the best way to track somebody. You get a bunch of, because weren't they cargo planes? A bunch of expensive ass cargo planes to just fly where you fly like that. They don't. There are so many better ways to track somebody than that. It's so dumb on the surface.
They want an FBI investigation of accomplices, and they're very close to coming out and just saying, "Hey, we're not saying there couldn't be something going on, but it ain't us." So overall, this is healthy. People are asking questions. The system's lied so much, but we still then have to, when we put information out, try to ferret through it and get it right. So I salute Candace for overall working all this. But at the same time, I'm glad that she's starting to figure out that a lot of folks think things may have gone a little too far. People may have been a little too sure in what they were saying, the way they said it. And you can go get these flight logs yourself. TPUSA has gone and done this. The public ones, but you can pay more and get even more data. But even off the public data, 66% incorrect. And we're just correcting it. And if that's not right, Candace, you could just disprove it. But Candace is like, oh, I had a great meeting now.
See, Alex is trying to be nice to Candace. You could tell. He doesn't want to burn any bridges. He's trying to be nice. I have no bridges with Candace, so there's nothing to burn. But that's what I said to Coach Colin earlier. I was like, dude, if you're going to stake your credibility on this shit, you might want to fucking actually go in and actually double check and like really confirm that this isn't a bunch of bullshit. You would think, right? You would think that'd be important. And, Candace as well. Because the method that guy used, anybody can do that if you want to spend the money. Yeah, okay, I get it. That's expensive. But for a lot of these influencers, they're making a lot more than $1,000 a video. So they can fucking spend $1,000 unlocking some data like that and make $10,000 on their fucking video.
At Spocko 2181 super
going hunting,
chatted
bro.
$1.99. I need a sport coat with that camo pattern.
It's nice, right? It's nice. It's like a Christmas hunting, he's about to go shoot some deer. He's about to go test that 30-06 theory out on some live deer.
I bet you did.
Thank you, Spocko.
Because they had all the points and all the data and all the stuff. So we need to move forward and find out the 10 accomplices that said Charlie will be dead tomorrow. The FBI, we now know, did interview. That's exclusive. And Cash Patel doesn't want to indict them. Why? Because they don't want to make it a left-wing thing. They want to limit it, just like they're now blaming his own FBI, J6 pipe bomber, being a Republican, and even high-level FBI agents are blowing the whistle.
Oh, that's a good question, Alex. You don't think they want to limit, they want to fucking hide that this is a left-wing thing and kind of get everybody off of that trail? Isn't that kind of suspicious? And doesn't that also point you to the fact that maybe social media is blowing this shit up that Candace is doing for that same reason, Alex? I wonder if you'd agree with me there. I wonder. Maybe Candace is actually taking the $7,000. I don't know, Matt, but it is convenient.
Saying the guy's autistic. It's a setup. The metadata doesn't even set up. Now, there's a problem with the FBI. We don't know exactly what they're covering up, but there's a cover-up. So I agree with Candace in questioning things. It's just TPUSA, the Army, the French, the Egyptians, the Israelis, they're all involved. Oh, just asking questions. Well, that's all we're doing and giving answers. Here's the report.
On September 10th, 2025.
Yeah, we watched it. We'll see what else Alex has to say. We already watched the report, so Anything else here, Alex, or did you just skip over this and go into an ad? Yeah, he probably just goes into an ad. Yeah, you know, Alex. All right, Alex. I think Alex is being nice to Candace. I think legitimately what we played last time where he was pissed off, I think he is very annoyed by this. Here's more. Exclusive intel, TPUSA was audited under federal investigations but came back clean while having to answer to accusations and prove their innocence in Charlie Kirk's assassination. I don't know. I don't think I watched this one.
Did you know TPUSA was audited? Did you know there were federal investigations? This is exclusive stuff. Oh, no. Well, here they are. We're clean. You think we do something corrupt? You know, all money stolen, all this. Don't give your money to them. That's probably the worst thing she did just off rumors on the internet. Oh, Charlie didn't know what was going on money-wise. Charlie was in complete control of everything. They were knocking on doors. They were getting millions of kids to go vote. They did a great job. We need them to win the midterms. We need them to continue the good people in the cabinet that are there with Trump. TPUSA has...
No, fuck the midterms, bro. We want to have we want to have this little drama keep going. That's more important than the midterms. It's more important than continuing to fucking have some success. One of the few things we've had success with Trump, which is fucking locking down the border and getting deportations on their way. I care about the midterms too. But I know it's more important you guys have your little fucking drama shit fest to entertain yourselves.
To answer all this and respond to all this like they're guilty until proven innocent. And then I learned a while back, and talk about it on air, that they were going to be meeting in Tennessee, in Nashville, with her yesterday. And that they kept debating about where it was going to be, Theo Von's, there. And instead they just said, let's just meet in private. And they had a good 4-hour meeting. And then yesterday I was talking to folks, and they said, yeah, everything.
They almost met at Theo Von's house. Theo, what are you doing, bro? Theo's all worried about getting killed, and then he's going to host this meeting, bro. Theo. They
were planning to come.
Maybe that's why Theo's getting, like a little scared and like really buying. I think Theo's kind of buying in hard to a lot of the internet drama that's kicking up a lot of fear and shit. And it's like, maybe he's spending a lot of time with Candace, man. Who knows? But yeah, I wanted to play that. That was interesting. Megyn Kelly, she's not happy. Megyn Kelly torches ex-friends who attacked her for staying silent on Candace Owens' Erica Kirk feud. I think she starts crying.
To the hateful people whom I used to call friends, who have been all over the internet trying to shame me and say that no one should ever listen to this program again because I haven't spoken out on the Erica Candace conflict. There's no, I don't have any pearls of wisdom other than go fuck yourselves.
Ooh.
Go fuck yourselves. You have no fucking clue what's going on. You don't know what I do behind the scenes. And your world is so myopically online. You fail to understand there are real humans involved here. And actually being able to touch grass and have relationships with them, which is something I'm doing.
Remember when Megyn Kelly went from Fox News to NBC? And she did that fucking disgusting hit piece on Alex Jones. Remember that? When they filmed for like 3 fucking days. I don't know how many hours she filmed with Alex, and then they took bits and pieces of the interview to make Alex look like a piece of shit. You remember that? I like Megyn Kelly. She's a cutie, but I'll never trust her. I'll never trust her. So fuck you too, Megyn. Although I don't know. I don't know why she's so upset. I guess behind the scenes people were really giving her shit for not talking about it.
Could prove to actually benefit.
But I'm still mad about the Alex Jones hit piece you did for NBC, Megyn. I'm still upset about that.
All involved. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't at all. But it's at least got a shot. I'm not sure your Twitter shame game has gotten anything of value done to the
man. These comments on the internet, man, they're hitting hard for so many people. More details emerge about Rob Reiner and wife Michelle's killings. This one's sad. Once again, rest in peace, Rob Reiner. I think politically, he was definitely somebody who suffered from Trump derangement syndrome, but that doesn't mean, that we can still be sad about this because, again, I was a fan of him as a director. When Harry Met Sally, fantastic movie. Misery, fantastic movie. There's so many. Go look at his fucking filmography. You'll find so many movies. Stand By Me. Just so many fucking fantastic movies, man. So, kind of sad. Kind of sad. And it's insane too. His son fucking allegedly murdered him and his wife. Like, I can't even imagine something like that, being both sides of it, being murdered by somebody like your son or a father, like somebody who is that close to you, who you love so much, being the one to murder you. And also, I can't even imagine someone being in that state of mind to murder somebody like that, to murder a family member, a father, a mother. It's just like so fucking disgusting, man. It's hard to wrap your head around.
Happening today, police are presenting the double homicide case against the son of actor and director Rob Reiner to the LA County District Attorney's Office. Prosecutors will determine the specific charges to file against Nick Reiner. Police arrested a 32-year-old on Sunday, and he's currently behind bars in downtown LA without bail. Rob and his wife Michelle were found dead Sunday afternoon in their West LA home. Sources tell CBS News they both had multiple stab wounds. At this point, police have not provided details about the incident. They only say Nick was allegedly responsible for their deaths. Fans are paying tribute to the filmmaker by placing flowers on his Hollywood Walk of Fame star you see here. We spoke to one person who says he'll remember Reiner for his legacy as an entertainer and an activist.
He had a strong backbone. He stood up to Donald Trump. He stood up for gay rights, for the environment, for peace. He was just a decent, kind man. I was shocked to hear how he died and how his wife died, and I couldn't believe it. And I was a kid when he was on All in the Family, and I followed his career, and he meant something to me. And I don't do this all the time. In fact, maybe this is the first time that I've brought flowers to a star on Hollywood Boulevard, but he meant something to me, and I was just motivated to do it.
Let's go live to CBS News correspondent Adam Yamaguchi in Los Angeles for us today. Adam, what are the latest details you can share about this ongoing investigation?
Dude, were the French behind this too, Spacco says? Candace, you gonna get on this case? You need to pivot. You need something new. You need some fresh meat, Candace. Here you go.
Yeah, well, the LAPD has been very tight-lipped about this investigation thus far. In spite of the massive public interest in this case, they say that they have to simply follow protocol and let the process continue forward as would any other case. Investigators are expected to present their evidence to prosecutors later today, and the DA's office has until tomorrow to press formal charges. Now, two sources who attended a Christmas party on Saturday night have told CBS News that they observed some uncomfortable behavior between Rob and his son Nick at the party. Apparently, there had been a loud altercation that took place. Now, what happened in the intervening hours?
Bro, sometimes when you're like mentally unwell, the worst place to be is at a party where everybody's enjoying themselves and you're not. Maybe that's what triggered this kid. Maybe this kid was already fucking losing his mind. And then it's like, let's go to a Christmas party with all these famous people who have accomplished so much. And you who have accomplished nothing, but you're here because you're my son and no one gives a fuck about you. Like, I don't know, man. That's tough. That's tough. I've been there when you're like not in a good mood and you go to a party and everybody's happy, having a good time. And it just makes, and obviously this is not a good comparison because if he fucking murdered his parents, like who knows, this kid might've been just lost touch with reality. You know, people will probably try to blame drugs, but a lot of people do drugs and don't murder their parents. So probably something else going on here, unless he took like a massive amount of like psychedelics or something and just totally lost touch with reality. Like that could be possible. But I think the drugs were the least of this kid's problem. I think he probably had some sort of severe mental illness. I don't know. Just
Saturday
speculating.
night and Sunday afternoon when Rob Reiner's youngest daughter, Romy, had visited the house and discovered her two parents' bodies with stab wounds. That is what's shrouded in mystery at this point. And
Yeah, Dan, having parents that are billionaires, that can fuck you up. Just having famous parents, especially if they're rich, but being famous and having to live up to that and never being able to and always judged, you know, under the shadow of what your parents did, not easy. But plenty of kids can grow up in a situation like that and make it out. But apparently not all of them.
we probably won't know much more about this, at least officially, until the court proceedings begin.
Yeah, it's so tragic. I want to talk about some of the background information here because we're talking about a son killing.
Yeah, Clayton, I understand psychs do not make you kill, but there have been instances in the past, as rare as they are, where people lose their mind if they take too much. Okay, maybe acid's not the right. I don't know, but I know there's instances of that. I'd say that's probably not the cause, but yeah, there are instances of people fucking losing touch with reality, thinking somebody that's like a family member is all of a sudden a demon or some shit like that, and just losing it.
Both his parents, let alone one with celebrity status. It's just so jarring. Is there any information emerging?
No, I don't think it was the drugs either. I'm just saying the possibilities, okay?
About their relationship.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what the dynamics of the relationship between...
Clayton says, only if you were crazy before. Well, I don't know if that's 100%, but yeah, being absolutely crazy will definitely doesn't help if you're crazy and taking fucking drugs, okay?
Nick and
not
his
a good
parents
combination.
were, but his long history, and this is something that Nick has been very open about, his long history with substance abuse and bouts of homelessness and mental anguish is perhaps the best clue that we might have to get a window into that relationship. Obviously, the whatever may have happened during the Christmas party will be looked at and examined, and investigators will be looking at to talk to partygoers to see what kind of state of mind.
His father tried to get him some fame too. His father made a whole movie. The son wrote a film about his life experience being homeless and addicted to drugs, and then his dad went and made a movie. Like, his dad made an effort to try to set his career up, and it just, I don't know, never happened, man.
Nick may have been in at the time to determine any potential motive, but again, his long struggles with substance abuse and addiction is something that created a lot of consternation for the family. It also strangely brought father and son closer together. They collaborated on a film that Nick co-wrote called Being Charlie, in which it was sort of an autobiographical account of somebody who was dealing with substance abuse, and both father and son spoke openly about the fact that this helped them understand one another a little bit better.
Yeah, there's a whole fucking interview where Rob Reiner did with his son where they're promoting the film, and it's pretty creepy. And a lot of people are not happy with Trump. I have to say, like, look, we just had this whole period where we saw the left do this with Charlie Kirk, and here's our opportunity to show that we're better than them. And Trump is just like, all about him. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's like, dude, look, I love that Trump goes off on people. Okay, I love that part of Trump, but you have to pick and choose the times, bro. When somebody gets brutally murdered by their kid, this is not the time to go off. Okay? All right, this is the time for, like, condolences. I'm sorry to hear about the... I mean, like, and the fact that you're not just a regular person on the internet, you're the president of the United States. So I kind of get it. A lot of people on the right, even Nick Fuentes, which I have a clip of, he's not happy about this one. And neither am I. It's like, dude, just show a little decorum. Like, I love it when you go off on people, but when they're murdered, and dead, how about just you back off at that point and just say the nice things everybody's supposed to say and be the bigger man. But no, this was his response. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, I mean, it's still funny, I'm sorry, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with the mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. All about me, dude. It's all about me. Can't even just play the game for 10 seconds and be like, I'm sorry to hear about Rob Reiner's death. He was a great filmmaker. We may have had our differences, but nobody deserves this. Rest in peace, Rob, and then the wife, That's it. Move on. That's it. Sound like a president for once. And then, you can pick somebody that wasn't just brutally murdered the night before, and you can go in on them, okay? Sometimes he was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump. This is becoming a thing now where he talks about himself in third person. He's got to stop doing that. With his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, may Rob and Michelle rest in peace. Look, I laugh, but that doesn't mean I'm co-signing this. I laugh because it's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I can't help but laugh. And then they asked him, and he just doubles down.
A number of Republicans Owens have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false.
Did he just
In fact,
do it
it's the
again?
exact opposite.
As far as Trump is concerned, he's talking in third person. When did he start talking in third person like this?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false.
You realize, Trump, you realize you're Trump, right? And you can just say, as far as I'm concerned. Look, I think I remember him talking in third person just occasionally, like not like all the time. Now it's like every time he talks, he's talking about himself in third person. It's kind of weird.
In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country, yeah.
Slips, Mr. President. Leader.
I mean, you just come out and say it. Just say, I'm happy he's dead. Just say it, Trump. I mean, hey, come on, we can all tell you're happy. Like, oh, another Trump derangement guy bites the dust. Ha! Another win for the Trumpy. Another win for Trump. Like, dude, come on, man. At least pretend to be like fucking above it all, man, for like a couple days. At least give it a couple days, dude. You know, the thing that I love a lot about Trump is also sometimes the thing I fucking hate about him. And here's Fuentes. Oops, excuse me, guys.
This is ugly rhetoric. It is ugly. It is actually evil. Forget for a moment.
Now we need Nick Fuentes to be the bigger man here. We need Nick to be the bigger man.
That we are in a war. Someone gets murdered by their son. It's a horrific tragedy. This is a horrible story. And nobody deserves that. I don't care what their politics are, what they said on the internet or on television. Nobody deserves to be murdered, stabbed to death with their wife by their own son, who they tried to help, and their best friend discovers the corpses. It's despicable.
Was it their best friend? I thought it was the daughter that discovered him. Because what I heard was the daughter was the one who found him, and she immediately was like, she already like kind of knew it was him, because who else is gonna do? Like, I guess there was something going on where everybody knew there was a risk of this kid losing his mind and murdering his parents, which is God, I mean, it makes you not want to have kids, right? Imagine that, like, you give birth to this child, you take care of them, and yeah, you're not perfect. But you do everything you can. You give them a place to live. You give them money. They're taken care of. And then what's the reward? They fucking slit your throat. That's terrifying, bro. Terrifying to think about.
And it's despicable to make fun of that. And I do think that, you know, look, somebody like George Bush passes away of old age at the very end, and you talk about his political legacy. That's one thing. Some guy, some producer, some civilian.
As much as I hate George Bush, and there's not a politician, George Bush, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, that whole group right there. I don't think there's politicians I hate more than that little neocon group. You didn't see me talking shit about Cheney. You didn't see me talking shit about Bush. Rest in peace. That's about all I'm going to say, because anything else is not going to be polite and proper.
Dies at the hands of his kid. It's such a grisly situation. It is objectively awful to make fun of that. Now, if Trump were actually doing what he promised to do, you could overlook the fact that he's a douchebag. You could overlook the fact that he's vain, that he's a narcissist, that he's tactical, but not.
Look, guys, I know I just said that, but you should still have kids, guys. If you don't want fucking immigrants, we got to start having kids. I think we need to like have some sort of public push, like the president, like media, everybody's got to push. It's like, okay, look, if we could just have like one generation have like 8 kids, we can fix this problem. Fuck this 3 kids. Like, we need one generation just to fuck like crazy and have like 8 kids so we can fuck it. Because if we don't fix this, we're going to have no choice but to keep bringing in fucking immigrants to do the jobs because we don't have enough Americans. And that's a sad reality people don't want to deal with. So get out there and start fucking, okay? Start having kids. I don't care if it's a crazy woman, whatever. Just, we need fucking bodies to throw at shit, okay? Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening.
Strategic. You could overlook all these things if he was
8 kids. We got to go for 8.
Bringing home the goods. That was kind of the deal in 2016. You said, we don't love everything about Trump, but you know what? We're willing to accommodate. It's an acquired taste, but it's okay because he's doing all these other things. Well, what's actually the pitch now? We get nothing. We get no concessions. There are no deportations. We haven't ended one of the wars. We haven't remade the federal bureaucracy. And then he's a dick on top of it. Then it's all about his vanity and his own self-aggrandizement on top of it. What is the redeeming quality now? It's nothing.
Whoa, he's still owning the libs, bro. He's still owning the libs. Look, I'd say one of the things he was good at is, the border shit. He could be better. He could be better, obviously. But it's night and day. So I as much as I fucking am so disappointed with Trump, it's like, still better than if we had Kamala, which I think a lot of people would disagree. But no, if we had Kamala, we'd have a continuation of an open border. We'd see more fucking caravans of fucking masses of fucking third worlders coming into the country. So like, that's a win, but there's so much else that we were hoping for that we're not going to get. And then he fucking teases us with this. Dude, he literally texts me like messages every day. It's like, it's getting kind of creepy. Because he's like, how come you haven't responded? And then it's like, sometimes it's like, he'll send me a love letter. And I know it's not him, it's his little group or whatever, but clearly things are going bad with his little text group of people he text messages, because I'm sure a lot of people like me are just ignoring it and not giving him money or whatever. And it's like, you can see it. It's like a boyfriend or a girlfriend that you broke up with, and they're just like kind of crashing out on you as you ignore their messages. That's what it's like with Trump's messages now. They're getting kind of creepy.
It's hollow. It's empty. So that's my take on the Rob Reiner stabbing. No one should be making fun of that. It's not funny. Who could honest to God look at that and laugh?
Olive, Olive, you got to get to work on that, Olive. You got to get to work. I expect 15 kids out of you, Olive, okay? When you die 100 years from now, Olive, I expect 15 fucking kids and like 70 grandchildren, okay?
Charlie Kirk on the...
I want you to have so many kids, Olive. There's going to be an army of fucking people there saluting you. An army of family members.
The other hand...
This is what we got to do. We got to fucking... Look, we've been fooled into like thinking that, oh, you shouldn't have kids and you should be... And okay, there is something to that, all right? But we're facing a fucking population crisis. So we need to just, as many babies as you can have, as many as you can pump out in a lifetime, get to fucking work.
This is somebody who was my mortal enemy, who he was actively trying to suppress my career, ruin my life, all these things. He got shot by a political partisan. He wouldn't debate me, but he would debate the type of person that murdered him. Someone like me could have gotten on the show and said, well, I guess you should have debated me. I could have said some smart alecky thing. I wasn't even thinking that way. Because a young person got shot in public for basically no reason.
Yeah. A lot of the right is pushing back on this because it's like, dude, we just made this huge fucking stink. And by the way, way worse what the left did than what Trump did. What Trump did was insensitive. It was stupid. But the left... Still worse what they did with Kirk. But it's like, dude, you're fucking things up for us. We had this great fucking like high ground we were standing on where it's like, yeah, we would never do that. And then the president fucking does that. Like, dude, I don't know. I think sometimes he's in his own little fucking world. So yeah, this is a little creepy segment of the interview they did.
You don't seem very fiery to me. You seem like you might...
That's Nick and Rob. That's the son who supposedly murdered his mom and dad.
You don't seem very fiery to me. You seem like you might just...
I get crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to set me off.
Jesus, dude. With what we know now, that kind of hits pretty dark, right? That's pretty fucking dark.
Yeah. Were you ever worried that that Nick could shine poorly on your career or something like that?
No. That never crossed.
Well, did it ever cross your mind that he might actually slit your throat and your wife's throat? I think it might have at some point because the daughter immediately was like, I think it was my brother. So I think there was something here where they knew this was a possibility.
In my opinion, the reason they're taking, whether it's drugs or alcohol or gambling, whatever they're doing.
Really? You don't think he looks murdery at all, JCD? He looks like a fucking... I don't know. Textbook fucking right off the casting couch. Looks like somebody you would put into a movie to be a weird, creepy stalker, dude.
They're doing it because there's a pain. There's something inside they don't feel good. They don't feel good about themselves, and they're self-medicating. So to try to understand why it is they're not feeling good.
You don't seem very fine.
See, like, this is the type of guy, like, I would cast him to be like the creepy dude who, like, this chick would, like, you know, she's at college and she meets this college guy and she's like, oh, he's kind of cute, and then, like, the more you get to know him, you realize, oh, this dude's fucking insane and he's gonna murder me. Like, he would play that role really well. But yeah, man, there were signs. There were signs. Dan Bongino's staff has quit. His office is empty, and he's set to officially resign within the next 48 hours. I don't think he's enjoyed this job very much, dude. Dan Bongino's ready to get back to fucking podcasting, bro. He's
it's a
done.
mixed bag. I mean, some people looked at how miserable he is in the job and the fact that he didn't understand what he was doing, which, you know, nobody wants to go into a job you don't understand. And if you know that you're set up for failure, then that's not a great kind of place to be. And I think Dan's used to being a podcast guy, and that's a much better life. It's way better to be your own boss and to run your own company. And when you bark, everybody does it, and what you say goes, than to be the number 2 at a government agency that also is subservient to another government agency. And then it's also subservient to the president.
Well, Trump first got.
I wonder if, you know, because Bongino's probably going to go back to doing a show. I wonder if he's going to have the same following he had before, or if people are going to be like, nah, bro, you helped bury the Epstein files. We're done with you. I wonder how he feels about Cash. I wonder if there's some bad blood there. But yeah, that's it. I'm not going to play too much of that. But yeah, Dan Bongino, expected to resign within the next 48 hours. Sad to see you go, Bongino. So yeah, the electric shock. That's the next one, guys. Charlie was electrocuted. Get ready for that. Fun episode, guys. Hope you had a blast. I did. This has been a fun one. It was nice. It was nice to come on and see the grift come crashing down in real time. Be proven right once again. People like to watch and then they're like, Ping doesn't know anything. Ping's wrong. Bro, I hope some of you are keeping track. Because, you know, I am biased. You know, I'm sure there's things I'm wrong about that I forgot I was wrong about. But my God, am I right quite a bit? And I hope somebody out there is keeping track of my statistics. Much love, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support, the 10 gifts. Thank you so much. You guys fucking rock. The super chats, the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Links are in the description if you want to join the Patreon and support the show. Also, Discord, free, no paywall. Anybody can go join the Discord. Links in the description. And smash the thumbs up on the way out, guys. Much love. We'll see you tomorrow night, okay? Have a great night, everybody. Take care.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notification.